Oh, thank God for those good children that God has given to us. At least by the time they are becoming 25, 30, you want them to leave. Am I right? So when they leave, what would you leave on? What would you leave on? So don't allow anything take away your vision today from you. Don't allow anything. Start something. Start it small. Don't just say. Start it small. Every seed is small until you plant it. So that vision remains on your shelf until you do something about it. Can you do something about your vision today? Can you do something about that inspiration in your mind? Can you do something about that inspiration in your heart? Can you take that step? If you need to speak to people today, can you sit down and say, who do I need to speak to? You know, one of the things that has really helped me in the area of this vision creation is that every time I'm about to create something, the first set of things that come to my mind, who are the people that I need to speak to? So I want to tell you an idea today. Can you sit down and write down the name of about 10 to 20 people in your life that you know you can genuinely speak to about the things that you have? Or somebody says, oh, I'm having problem with my wife, I'm having problem with my husband. You see, one of the reasons why you might be going through chaos at times is because of you not doing your vision. I'm telling you this. When you start working in your vision, there will be less room for fighting. I'm telling you this. If you focus, because you see, it will get to a time your vision. Do you remember that it was the same brothers of Joseph that sold Joseph into slavery? By the time they came into Egypt, were they not the ones begging him? Even when their father was about to die, they were still saying, please help us to beg our brother because we know we did him wrong. See, your vision will make you busy. What do I say? Your vision makes you what? There will be no room for infighting. Do you get me now? There will be no room for those things in which this and this and this and this. And imagine if God has placed 1,000 people under you. How do you want to feed them? How do you want to make provisions for them? How do you want to make sure that everything that God has asked you to do, you are doing it correctly? It's the vision. It's the vision. So you will need to understand this, that tonight one of the things in which we're going to make up our minds about is that we're not going to surrender to lower forces. And there are days in which the voices of these lower forces might be too high. You know, Jesus told his disciple about his vision for the future, how he's going to bring people like us into the kingdom of God, and how he's going to die and every other thing. And they said, no, you can't die. What's that? They were being selfish. And Jesus said, keep quiet. So there are times in which people around us might look as if they were concerned. They were so much concerned. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. But the truth is that they were only concerned about their own security, not your vision. Do you get my point now? They're not your vision. So what do you need to do? You must understand that, see, there is a place for that vision. There is a place for what? For that vision. Now, let's think about this in 1 minute. You see, when we start working on our vision, it will start expounding. Don't ever forget this. So when you start working on your vision, the vision starts expounding. When you start working on it, the vision will start expounding. The vision will start expounding. That's the way it is. You need to. You see, expansion does not come when you just sleep and wake up. Expansion comes when you start working with it. Just and see, and don't always see. Make sure that the people, and that's why, let me say this to you. Your vision will start attracting people when it starts expounding. But you must make sure that you don't put wrong people in your inner circle. That's why people always say that the person you get married to can affect you. Yeah. So you must be very careful, especially if you are married, you must have a way of trying to propel and paint the picture of your vision to your spouse. And if as a spouse, you don't understand the vision of your partner, you must take time to understand. It takes time. Do you understand now? So what am I saying is that, because you are not a lone ranger, you are not one person. There are people in your life. Either you are married or not, there are people, there are brothers, there are sisters in your life, there are people in your life. So you must know how to accommodate them, because as that vision expounds, you would need people. Some people intentionally will submit to you as a result of your vision. So what do you do with them? That's important. So when Jesus started his ministry, he was alone. At some point then, he started with 3 people, and from 3, they became 12. From 12, the number started growing. 120, they said even when Jesus was going, there was about 600 people that was there. And look at the way Jesus was able to manage all these people. So as you continue to work on your vision, you must also learn on how to improve on your management skills. You must also learn how to improve on your leadership skills. You must learn how to do things rightly. That is where it's going beyond one man's vision. You remember Joseph told the king, he said, "King, everything that I've told you, look for people that are capable and put them in charge." And the king says, "Is there anybody among us that has the Spirit of God like this man? Who else are we going to put there?" So you must understand is that when you start working with your vision, there will be expansion. And there will be a need for you to create a room for balance and fulfillment. What do I say? There will be a room to create for balance and what? Fulfillment. And so you think about the people that are also an extension of you. So some of you that you are here today now, you have a vision, but your husband is becoming older. And you don't want to look like a woman that neglected the husband. So what do you do? That is where balancing and fulfillment comes in. What do I do with my aged husband? And how do I still fulfill my own vision? Because you see, one thing about vision is that not until you fulfill it, you will not be happy, or your happiness will not be complete. And if you're not very careful, you can become a bitter person by saying, "Now, if not for these children, if not for my husband now, I wouldn't have been in this position."